morning, St. Andrew, and welcome to our family Sunday school lesson. What we will need for today's lesson are stickers or Post-its, some string, a blindfold, and a sweet treat. Welcome, friends. Come in.
What's up, Miss Wendy?
Good morning, Mr. Duck. Mr. Duck is going to get a sticker on his foot.
Hey, Miss Wendy.
Hi, Mr. Bunny. Mr. Bunny is going to get a sticker on his cheek.
Good morning, Miss Wendy.
Good morning, Miss Moon. Miss Moon is going to get a sticker on her hand. Our lesson for today is going to be on kindness. What do you think about kindness?
I like when people are kind, and I think when you're kind, you're also being helpful. I think people are being kind when they say nice things to each other, like, I like your outfit. I'm being kind when I put my toys away the first time Mom and Dad asked me to.
Those are very nice things. Very, very nice. Whew, I'm kind of hungry. You know what? I think I would like to go get a donut.
Oh, we like donuts too.
But we're going to have to change it up a little bit.
What?
Yep, it's going to be a challenge for my friends if they'd like to get a donut. So first, with my friend, Mr. Duck, we, oh, there it is. We have some string, and poor Mr. Duck, he is going to have his poor little feet tied together. And then, Mr. Bunny, well, we can't let a donut be easy for you either. You are going to have to be blindfolded.
Oh.
So sorry. And Miss Moon, well, I can't make it easy on you either.
Uh-oh.
Give me your hands. We are going to have to tie up her hands. So sad.
Oh, man.
Well, you guys have fun. I'm sure hungry. I'm going to go get some donuts. Bye.
What? Wait. But we like donuts. Guys, well, we want to get donuts too. I guess we have to work as a team to figure out how to get there. Well, my hands are tied, so I probably can't reach for things. And, well, Bunny, your eyes are covered, so you can't see where you're going. And, Mr. Duck, your legs are tied, so you probably are going to have a hard time trying to walk anywhere. But maybe if we work together, we could all use the parts of our bodies that still work to go and figure out where the donuts are. Bunny, what do you think you could use to help us find the donuts? My nose? Oh! So Bunny thinks he can help us by using his nose to sniff out the donuts. Mr. Duck, what do you think you can do? Oh, he said he could reach for the donuts since my hands are tied and I probably can't reach. And I will probably have to carry them because I'm the only one who has legs that are not tied up and work and are nice and long for me to be able to reach. So we're going to go ahead and try that. I'm going to grab my friends and see if we can go find those donuts. All right, guys, come on. Oh, yeah, look. All right, I'm walking. Mr. Bunny, you smell them? Oh, we're getting close.
Whew, those were really good. So what I want my friends to do is I want you to get into groups of 3s. And you're going to have one person in your group blindfolded. One person in your group will have their hands bound together. And one person in your group will have their legs tied together. You may do this now. You may pause.
We found those donuts and they are delicious. Mr. Bunny picked the sprinkle one with the pink icing. Oh, that's Mr. Duck. Mr. Bunny picked the chocolate one and I picked special green. That was hard, Miss Wendy.
That sure was.
Ugh.
What went through your mind when I told you to help yourselves to donuts in the kitchen?
Well, we all thought it wasn't very fair that you took off and you knew where they were and you left us tied up and blindfolded.
I agree. That really wasn't very nice of me. You are right. How did you feel if your trio member left you behind?
Well, if Miss Christie would have left me behind, I probably wouldn't have made it very far and I would have been very sad.
That is true. What was the reward for working together and taking care of one another?
Donuts!
How was being blindfolded or having your feet or hands tied together like what happens to people in real life?
Well, I think people have a lot of challenges they have to overcome, and sometimes you have to be creative and find ways to work through them so you can get what you want.
Oh, so if you had to stay blindfolded for a month, how would you want other people to treat you?
Well, that sounds kind of terrible, so I would hope somebody would be kind to me and be helpful. So maybe things like tying my shoes, since I won't be able to do that very well. Maybe helping me get dressed or make breakfast. Just being helpful.
People have all kinds of difficulties in life. Physical problems, losing a job or a home, failing at school, anything can happen. At times like that, we need one another, just as you needed your trio members in this activity. God wants us to be kind and loving. Let me introduce you to an old woman from the Bible whose life was turned around because someone was kind and loving to her.
Ooh.
This is Naomi's story. I've had a sad life, I tell you, a very sad life. But the living God has given me joy again. Do I look like a sad old woman? Well, I'm not. I should say not. For God has filled my empty arms with a beautiful baby boy, a grandson. Can you believe it? A grandson born when my husbands and sons were all in their graves. Let me tell you how it happened. I grew up and married in the town of Bethlehem. When food was hard to find, my husband and my 2 sons and I moved to the land of Moab. My sons married women from Moab, and for a time I was very happy. But then my husband and sons died. I had no one left but my 2 daughters-in-law. I wailed and cried as they buried those men who were so dear to me. I felt empty and alone, so I decided to return to Bethlehem. I told my 2 daughters-in-law to stay in Moab and find new husbands. One stayed behind, but Ruth insisted on going with me. I'll go wherever you go, she said. Your people will be my people and your God will be my God. You should have seen the looks on the faces of my old friends when we arrived in Bethlehem. Can it be Naomi? They asked. I told them how empty and lonely I felt. No husband, no sons. Bah! What good is a lonely old woman? But there was Ruth. Why should she stay with her old mother-in-law? She's 1 in a million, that girl. It was harvest time, so Ruth went out into the field to gather grain the workers left behind. The owner of the field was kind to her. Come gather grain in my field every day, he said. And who should that kind man be but Boaz, a close relative of mine? I knew Boaz would sleep by the piles of grain to guard them. So I told Ruth to put on perfume and her best clothes and lie at the feet of Boaz. When Boaz awoke and found Ruth at his feet, Ruth said, "You are my relative. Will you take care of me?" Ah, that Ruth. She's a lovely girl. Boaz decided to marry her and buy the land that belonged to my sons and my husband. That was nearly a year ago, and just last week my grandson was born. All my friends laughed and cried like a bunch of old hens. Praise the Lord who gave you this grandson, they prayed. May he become famous in Israel. He will give you new life and will take care of you in your old age because of your daughter-in-laws who loved you. She is better for you than 7 sons because she has given birth to your grandson. So who wouldn't be happy? Praise to the living God who fills me with joy. So what terrible things happened to Naomi?
If you guys would like to pause after each question to talk about it with your family, you can, and then come back to hear our answers. Well, her husband and her sons were all dead, and she was really sad about that.
You were right. How would you feel if you were the only one left in your family?
I would be heartbroken. I would feel lonely and sad. I probably wouldn't know what to do.
Why do you think Ruth went back to Bethlehem with Naomi?
I think that Ruth went with her because her husband had been her family and she wanted to be with Naomi because that was a part of being with her husband, maybe.
What good things happened because of Ruth's kindness?
Well, they were able to get their farm back. She was able to get married, and she had the grandson that Naomi always wanted.
She had a family again. That is true. When Ruth went with Naomi, do you think she expected any of these good things to happen?
I don't think she knew what was going on. I think she was just along for the ride and there to be supportive of Naomi.
So God wants us to be kind and loving. Sometimes God gives us great surprises like he did in today's story, but sometimes our reward is just the happiness we feel for having done something kind.
That was a great story.
That was a great story. So now we are going to make a card. And this is a kindness card. What you will need for this is one piece of paper. Okay? And we are going to take this.
You'll also need some scissors and some markers or pencils or crayons.
Correct. So with this piece of paper, we are going to fold it in half.
Okay.
And on the side where the bend is, we are going to draw a heart coming out from where the paper is bent. So we are going to do one loop and another loop. To give you that.
Thank you.
And then we are going to cut where we drew the heart lines.
So after you draw your lines, it will look something like this. So you started on the fold line so that if you opened your paper, it looks like this. And you'll see what it looks like when Miss Wendy cuts hers.
So I drew a heart on one side, but when you cut it out,
It turns into a card.
it turns into a card. I bet Miss Moon can make one that looks a little nicer than mine.
You know what? They're all beautiful.
I'm going to try and cut right here. There we go. Now we have a heart. So in this
You're
heart...
making two hearts. It's supposed to have two.
Oh, okay.
It's okay. If yours turns
all
out to
good.
be one heart or two hearts, either way is fine.
Or lumpy bumpy like mine, it's okay. So with these hearts, on one side, you can write who it's to and who it's from.
Okay. I think I'm going to make mine to my mom.
Aw.
And from, and I'm going to put my name.
And I'm going to give you some suggestions for acts of kindness that you can put on this card as well. One, how about I'll bring you something to drink? Or I'll do a job you usually do. Ooh, I like this one. I'll make the bed for you.
Ooh.
Or I'll bring you breakfast in bed. Here's one. Here's a hug because you make me happy. Here's a hug because I love you.
Aww.
Ooh, I'll bring you a foot rub. These are just some of the suggestions, but you can put anything you want on there as an act of kindness. Oh, let's see what she's going to make.
I know what my mom really, really likes. So, for my coupon, I'm going to put, I will take you out to La Coretta.
Woo!
But you could put anything on your kindness coupon card. Maybe you want to write one to someone in your family. Maybe you have a neighbor or somebody who's been feeling kind of sad or lonely because of all of the COVID shutdowns and they're feeling like they could really use a friend. Maybe you could write, I will make you another card next week and let them know that you're going to keep thinking about them and sending them something kind. You could make something as simple as, like Miss Wendy said, making the bed, or it could be something really big, like I will come and visit you. Maybe if it's someone who's far away and you're waiting until it's safe. There are lots of ways you can be kind. Can you guys think of any other suggestions for ways we could be kind in our cards? I think when it's nice outside, I could tell my dad I could mow the lawn for him.
Ooh, that is really nice.
That's a good one. What about you, Mr. Duck? I could clean my room without Mom asking.
Ooh, that's a good one too.
She would love that. Mr. Bunny, can you think of anything else? I could write in mine that I'll help with the dishes tonight. Oh, Mom would love that. What about you, Mr. Bunny, Mr. Duck? I could let my brother pick the movie we watch tonight.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That is a good one. So there are lots of ways that we can be kind. I hope that this week you guys will show all the people in your home, at your school, maybe at your sports if you're playing them, different ways that you guys can be kind. I hope you had fun today. Bye.
Bye.